And now we are likely live. In the correct place. At a moderately late time. Hey, it's us.
Hey!
Cool. I figured it out. I did it. All right, cool. Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Welcome to Lives We Never Made It to.
Yes.
Except for those we have.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And today is our first meeting of 2026. Thank you for being here. That's awesome.
We should have the little like, Bree!
I can go get them. Thanks, good job, bud. Yes, okay. But so it's our first week of the new year and our first reading of
Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. So, if you have not read through day 2 of Name of the Rose, we might spoil things for you.
Will probably be more helpful, honestly.
It might be nice to watch this before you read so that you know what you're getting into. This one's challenging. So you make your own choices, and we're here for you. Mm-hmm. We have we have lots of other books playlisted for you in the playlist section of our channel. We've read tons of things, lots of things. So go pick anything out from there. Join that discussion in the little discussion box. And we love reliving those books. If you decide to stop the video and go and read up to, the point where we are today through day 2, join us back on the replay and tell us what you think in the discussion box. I don't know that we'll like reliving this book, but I think it'll be necessary to revisit and get more understanding from it. It's just been very complicated. So we are on Instagram for the memes, and I have been pushing out some more memes lately. That's what a week of vacation will do for you. You have time to play on social media. We are on YouTube Music as a podcast in case you want to hear us and not see us. But I can't imagine why that would be. And here we go.
Yes. Also, if y'all could like our video, I'm testing out different things to see if we can bump up positive interactions, and that seems to be one of the things, whether or not people actually like things. I'm also putting hashtags in videos now. So.
Okay.
And Shelby, I don't know if you saw, but before we dive right into the book, I put up your Pure Nessie Lo-Fi video, so it's out there now.
Yay!
So, yeah, let's go. What?
So, I don't know if I'm getting out of this book what I'm supposed to be getting out of this book, and I imagine that I'm not. So I don't really know how to talk about this book without getting into a conversation that might not be appropriate to this platform.
We can dance around it. Can we first start with the way this book starts? So first off, we were repainting my office this week, and that's when we were listening to the audiobook for this. And so, we were busy and we were doing stuff, but it was simple stuff. It didn't really require a lot of focus.
Yeah,
but
no brain power.
This book has 3 starts. And when you're just diving into it, especially audiobook style, it didn't make any sense. And I wasn't sure at what point the author was giving us notes about his book, or at which point his fake author was giving us notes about the book.
Right.
Or at which point the book was starting, and it was just incredibly confusing.
Right. So now I'm wondering, so that that prologue or intro to the intro was saying that he had they'd found a manuscript.
Yes.
And then it was taken from him. So is that the manuscript that we're reading now? Or is that something else?
I think he's recounting, it's a preface of this character, the William's sidekick or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Recounting his adventures of what has happened and what they found. And he's just I don't really have evidence of this, but you gotta believe me, bro, here's the tale. I think that's what's going on here.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. So Peggy's saying she didn't know when to start reading or if that first bit was true. There's no reason to think that the first bit is from the author's point of view when you're in the audiobook. I'm sure when you're looking at the book it's more obvious.
But then something said 1980.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy didn't do research for this. There's no way.
No, the author was there's a word for it. but he was some kind of something in the
I'm sure he
Catholic
did like
Church.
some research.
But he was like a scholar. Yeah. Which is why he like knows all this stuff. This is supposed to be historical fiction. So I think that the little tidbit about the two popes and the ruler that was getting rid of the pope and like I think all that stuff
That's true.
was true.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the historical context with which
Yeah. But like the bit about the missing manuscript and all that, I feel like it was from a character's point of view.
Yeah. Our young Adlo or
Yeah.
Watson.
Yes, young Watson.
Medieval Watson. This isn't medieval. This is
Yeah, sure, it's medieval.
medieval.
Yeah. It's not like super medieval.
Super medieval. So
Yeah,
are our mics working? Just by the by.
they seem to be working.
Yay. Oh, I thought they were saying neuromancer.
Yeah, anyway, so this book is a lot of religion, but not like fun religion. It's a lot of I'm going to put a little self-disclosure out here, and I don't have a lot of like respect for just sort of like the sort of putting on a pedestal of like Aristotle. I just like sure, he was important. I'm on board. But
Yeah.
like calm down, bro. And just the whole like medieval obsession with there are other bits of medieval philosophy or medieval like religion that combine Greek and Roman philosophy that I find significantly more interesting than like
But-
the whole like forms and
But
Platonism
for
thing.
this time period,
Sure, I get it.
I mean, like Aristotle's work had been lost for a long time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was preserved, like in the Arab world.
Yes.
And it had just come back.
Sure.
So they were all excited. I mean,
Yes.
this tied everything together
Yes.
in Christianity for them.
But this is like a period of time where you get the whole like how many angels can dance on the head of a pin and did Jesus laugh and
Boy, howdy, did Jesus? We know he wept,
yeah.
but did he laugh?
So I mean, but like my point is that like that sort like all of that sort of really like esoteric line of inquiry came out of this time, and I can't appreciate it. I just can't.
I think what's interesting about this is when we think of Christianity today, even though there's 1,000 flavors of Christianity, we see it as kind of a cohesive thing. Like Christianity, like, you know, by definition, it's you believe this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then there's like some other things. These guys believe this and these guys believe this. But we tend to think it as having always had been. But it has not always been. And in this book, you get to see how it became. And it was really, really messy.
Yeah.
It was, let's take from this philosopher, and oh, look, here's Boethius, and oh, look, let's
Yeah.
take from, you know, Plotinus or Plotinus or whatever his name is. And like, here's little bits and pieces. And then here's Aquinas. Wow, he changed the game. And here's
Yeah.
this, you know. So they're taking all these little bits and pieces. You have one little abbey that believes this thing and says everyone else is a heretic and is going to, you know, burn
Yeah.
for it. You have this abbey over here who's like, psh, that's crazy. Of course Jesus laughed. You know, I mean, it's so messy.
Well, and I think
And this is just one denomination. This is just Catholicism.
yeah. Well, and I think that's kind of my point. Is like it's this whole like obviously there was an obsession with orthodoxy and things like that ever since like they got on board like the orthodoxy train, but the obsession with Aristotle and like sort of like truth behind things really like ramps it up to like this next level to where you get like inquisitions and things like that. I mean, like it's just really bizarre.
Is the fact that William is an ex-inquisitor, the X part, by like intentional, or do you think the author intentionally made him an ex-inquisitor so that we would like him? Do you think that if he were an inquisitor, we'd be like,
No, I think he's I mean, maybe.
leave Galileo alone?
I think he has to be an ex-inquisitor because being an inquisitor gives him like the skill set to be a detective, and being an ex-inquisitor gives him the time. Because otherwise he would be occupado.
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. And then Jorge is the guy who is an inquisitor, right? Is that not right? Is Jorge the guy that I think reminds me of Judge whatever from Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. There was another, there was a reference later in the book you're like, you're making this a Feast of Fools, like talking about the Jesus wept thing. And Feast of Fools is January 6th. It's also in Hunchback of Notre Dame. So just there's that.
Yeah, I have trouble telling some of the characters apart because they all speak exactly the same way, right?
Yeah,
like,
I need
they
a character list.
Well, but like they're just all so far up their own tookishes about their Latin and
And
I try to figure out if I can find a way
languages.
to
There's a
bleep
little
this.
Quasimodo in there.
I mean, just okay. That guy. So that guy is the only person who has like a defining character feature about him. That guy's really funny, and like the hate that he gets, I just don't understand. But like, it's fine.
Yeah, what's up with the cook? Like calling him all kinds of names. Was that him and him? I think that was him and him.
Yeah. Well, everybody just like treats him like a fool, and like I guess he is or whatever. But like they took him in, and
yeah,
he's
William's
there, and
like
he's doing a thing.
He is your brother, and
Yeah.
you need to like be chill.
Yeah. It's a good little time.
Is it?
I guess. I don't know.
So that's the question. Is this book a good little time? How do we feel today about the book?
Oh, I mean, like we're making it. So I mean, like things kind of start picking up. I do think that like there's like a pacing issue because you'll spend forever. Guys, can we talk about the lists? You will spend literally forever naming every animal somebody can think of in 45 seconds.
But he won't describe the face of a man.
Right. So we have characters that we just don't know anything about other than like he be a monk. Then we get like a list of animals. Then we get list of fake animals. And then all of a sudden, like by the end of this, we're like kind of in the library, right? Like, yeah. So like, but like, how did we get there? I don't know. Like, it just kind of happened.
The labyrinth.
It happened very quickly.
Yeah.
But so my point is, I think there's like a pacing issue, but the pace is picking up, and so I like that. But it definitely seems to be that the issue is that all the monks are gay, right? Like that's the problem.
That seems to be it.
And like, if this is like a jealousy thing by the end of it, like okay.
If this is a Flanders Panel thing by the end of it.
Yeah. So didn't we see something that said that this was like, if you like Flanders Panel, you'd like this?
I think so.
I think we did see that. So that's kind of an issue.
Hey, I did just get a little bit of clarification. So I'm using Lit Charts because I was looking up just a character list or whatever. Lit Charts is pretty great. There is an unnamed narrator. This narrator writes a preface titled Naturally, a Manuscript, in which he gives an account how he found a copy of the manuscript by the 14th century German monk Adso of Milk. So that guy is someone else completely.
Yes.
And then somehow we have Adso's actual. He explains how he's edited and presented the manuscript and the division of the story into units corresponding to the Abbey's hours of prayer. So unnamed narrator has organized all of Adso's work. Mm-hmm. The narrator's preface adds yet another dimension of intertextuality to the novel.
Well, we kind of talked about like framing, like a frame story.
Yeah.
But like, what if the frame, like this is actually really interesting. I think I'm going to take it back to Flanders Panel, right? Sorry, everybody, but I'm doing it. But so like in Flanders Panel, the whole concept was like, look, there's like this game inside a picture, inside a painting, right? Mm-hmm. And what this book is doing is sort of that like medieval frame of like the real art is happening in a story, in a painting, like there's three levels to this really, right? There's like our level, this narrator's level, and sort of like the recounting of young Watson, and that's where we're going from there. So.
And for some reason, that's just the way all books were written back then. They couldn't not write they couldn't just get to the story. It had to be, I was wandering in the woods and a kindly couple let me into their home so I didn't freeze to death. And so I told them this story.
Yeah.
Ha.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so an unnamed narrator allowed all of these words to exist. They could have edited some of this crap out.
Mm-hmm.
So... I
want to get back to the whole like all the monks appear to be gay thing.
Yes,
because it's like, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But like that's you do you, and I think it's unfortunate that people in the Middle Ages like had to struggle because of that. However, whenever the narrator or whoever keeps like describing like the young monks who come to the
Yeah.
the monastery, and he's like, he had the face of a maiden. Like, okay, but now you're getting creepy, right?
Yeah.
Like now it's a weird thing.
I mean,
Why'd you
that
gotta
was
go make it
Adso.
weird?
That was our young narrator monk.
Yeah.
Say he was talking about like the challenges of you have chosen to abstain, and then you're surrounded by these beautiful men.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I too have gazed too long on the unshaven face of a young choir boy.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
okay.
It's one thing to choose, this life, to marry the church and be a servant of God, but don't torture yourself. Like, if you need that, then don't be a priest.
Yeah. Well.
Or
yeah. But this is a history. This is a period of like, I don't see anything in like the life of Jesus that says like, okay, now you have to go and like suffer. I do see like, hey, go be poor, right? Like, okay, cool.
Did you see? Hey, don't laugh.
But like, I don't see the don't laugh. I don't see the go beat yourself. I don't see the like, all that kind of stuff. And so it really kind of gets out of hand.
There was like some comment about some like
Yes. Yeah. At some point they run into like some flagellants or something.
That's right. It's flagellants, but in my brain I heard
different. Yes.
flatulence,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, they're gassy.
No. There is also very early on one of the people, I don't know who it is anymore, but one of them is talking about like all the nuns he's been in love with, right? And that is actually like a very normal thing. And what is it? Not Hildegard Bingen. She's a composer. Abelard and Eloise, right? Like, have you ever read that? Mm-mm. So I think it's real, and I think they're letters, if I'm not mistaken. But they're these letters between a monk and like a nun from sort of like the high Middle Ages. And it's this very like dance around the fact that we love each other and can't do anything, but like they very much are obsessed with each other. And we still have all these letters. And anyway, it was not like a super uncommon thing for you to have like, it's like your work wife, right? Like,
right,
kinda,
yeah, yeah. I had something to say. I don't remember. If you're just joining us, we are talking about Through Day 2 of The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the book club. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. One thing. So these last two little snippets in Day 2 really popped off. There was action. There was a chase scene through, the stairwell, and someone stole William of Baskerville's glasses.
Yes.
And there's like, urine secret writing on the pages of this Greek book that's now missing, but we have the one page. They were like, it might be lemon juice. I'm like, dude, that's piss. Someone secret wrote in pee and used heat to...
Yeah.
These little monks are weird. They're peeing all up on this paper.
Fair enough.
They even said the Italians pee on everything. Do you remember that
I do
part?
remember it. Yeah. Look, before we keep going on, I'll hop back to the glasses thing, because Shelby and Peggy are talking about how they like the little like blurbs at the beginning of the chapter, and like the last blurb has like, and in the one where William loses his glasses, and I was like, oh no. And then he gives like the whole little story. He's like, because I can't read without it, and they know I wouldn't trust anybody else to read this. I'm
right.
Like, oh my God.
Right.
Crazy.
And so, what we're getting here is a pattern of there's a murder a day. There was a murder on day 1. Well, when they got there was a murder or a death.
Yeah.
Of the little dude jumped out of the library.
Maybe.
Next day, there was a man in the pig blood. Yikes.
Yes.
And then our narrator has already told us on day 3 there will be another murder.
Mm-hmm. So who done it?
Who's doing it? What's happening?
I think it's the abbot. Why? I don't know. Just do. Everybody's laughing about the pee part. Yeah, it's definitely popping off. It's hard for me to like follow with like the clues. I get like the whole like Sherlock Holmes part where he just like deduces things. That part's easy. But like, do we have any clues so far about what's going on? I know we just discovered the whole like there's poison vapors in the door of the library.
Dude, it was dripping. Yeah. It's like there's dragons in here and a lady.
And like in a mirror. To like make people think they were seeing ghosts and stuff. Yeah. So I get that part.
We saw the first little guy that died. We saw his last evening. he went into Baron Bergader's whatever room, and then ran out and went to confession, and then ran out into the graveyard. And he was like speaking nonsense.
Yes.
I'm wondering if like did he get a huff of you know,
was he tripping?
This drug. I think that he had gone into the room with the guy, and I think that they were, you know, having a session, a relation. But like, did something more, you know, happen to him? Something beyond what he was expecting, and I think that maybe. He was exposed to that drug.
Maybe. So yeah, Peggy is saying that she thinks the hippie herbalist is involved, and that is a good theory.
None of his answers. I mean, they're like, "Do you have anything that can kill someone?" Well, a banana can kill someone if they eat enough of it. So say yes. Say yes, I do. I do have all these things. Turd. All of these monks.
Don't they have...
They have all these secrets. They gossip like little girls. Don't they have what?
Don't they have a vow of silence, and then they're just like, oh, but we don't have to keep it as far as like knowledge is like...
They're like, yeah. We have a vow of silence, but we can share all the things.
Yeah.
And we can gossip. We spill the tea all day.
Part of me thinks it'd be really cool to be a monk. Like, just like...
Oh, I totally wanted to be a nun as a child.
Yeah. I mean, like...
I watched The Sound of Music,
and
I was like, I want to live in an abbey.
And like doing research all day seems cool. Like, I could do that. What would you research? You're a nun. What do you focus on?
Oh, I want to be a nun out where they have animals and stuff. I want to like raise sheep and goats and make butter and cheese and wool.
We know a nun that does that.
I know.
Yeah. Very cool. I don't know what I would do. The glassblower guy seems cool.
Yeah, he's so eager. He's going to make us some new glasses.
Seems cool.
And poor guy's going to, you know, die miserably of some kind of lung cancer from breathing in all that glass.
Yeah.
Just
fair enough.
Spoiler. So if he ends up dead, it's a coincidence. It's from the glass.
I appreciated his little thing where he's like, sometimes we're just dwarves standing on giants, but sometimes we're also dwarves standing on giants.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
If I have seen further.
Yeah. I don't mind the poverty part, Peggy. That part is like, whatever.
I mean, when you live, like, to be a nun or a monk, when everyone is also the same, like, that's fine.
Well, but also, like, if you're a monk in the Middle Ages, like, maybe you're not so poor. So, and
well-fed.
that's like part of their beef, you know, with like some of the other orders and the whole thing about people, you know, you're a heretic if you're too poor, you're a heretic if you're too rich.
What a pain.
Yeah,
I mean, just what a pain in the butt. This whole thing.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, like, and that part's all tragic and everything, but there is a good conversation in here where he says, I think it's William says, you know, you can't just like come out and tell everybody your scientific discoveries because like people will burn you alive and call you a witch or whatever. And so sometimes you have to like do a little chanting and do some things and dress it up as religion. You do still like run the risk of like being a heretic and summoning a demon or whatever, I suppose. But like, you know, like, but it's a very interesting observation about like you can't just go publish things. You know, you have to couch it in like the appropriate language of the time. So,
what a pain. And if I hear Jorge or whoever it was that I'm accusing of this talk about the sinful, treacherous nature of women, again, I'm going to throw this book into the trash.
Well, that is part of how you justify your monk life, you know, by...
It's annoying. So, okay, well, back to what you mentioned. He was talking about, like, some of the monks fell in love with some nuns. That conversation went a bit deeper, and that the children born from those affairs were sacrificed. Like, brutally.
Well, so that part, I don't think that part's real. So that part is the old Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Is telling this story.
Who mouth kisses, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, he's telling this story, but he's talking about like what these people said under torture.
Yeah.
And that's how he knew they were a heretic, right? I'm sure they were like monks and nuns hooking up. But like the whole like executing children thing,
you don't think
like
that was real?
It could have happened somewhere. You know, people be weird, but like that's the kind of stuff you hear out of Inquisitors all the time. You know, so I think he was just like telling some story.
That guy was mouth kissing everybody. He was mouth kissing our narrator. It was like, stop! You've got cold sores. I'm sure everybody's got them now.
Man, there's something else I was going to say.
There's a lot of words in this reading. I finished it
Much words.
about 20 minutes before the book club started today.
Same. Yeah, we finished this morning. Yeah.
So, Peggy, I think you had said that you have some guesses about who's responsible for the death of our little librarian illuminator and otherwise. So what are you thinking?
Well, she already said that she thinks that the herbalist is involved.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not sure if she thinks anybody else is involved, but definitely the herbalist. So.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, not telling. That's fine.
Shucks. Okay. Well,
What if the herbalist dies next?
the herbalist would be able to fake his death by giving himself a like Romeo and Juliet style situation where he's like very faint heartbeat, paralyzed, but comes back in a couple of days.
Yes.
That's going to be his situation. So I don't even believe it. If he shows up dead, he
Right.
ain't dead. He's zombie version herbalist, and he'll be back in a couple of days.
Yeah. You know, like the Middle Ages were also like very obsessed with the end times and
Oh yeah,
the
this whole
apocalypse and
guy
all
is out
that,
here
right.
saying it's coming in like 3 days.
I wonder if yes. So I wonder if that won't somehow play into this. Like maybe somebody like rises from the dead, and that's supposed to be like the new, the Antichrist, or you know something like that. You know, I don't know.
I think Berengar is going to be the next death.
Okay.
He's consumed with guilt after the death of Adelmo. That was very hard to understand, but I guess I did kind of get that.
And he is one of the guys who was having sex with Adelmo. That's what this says. Okay.
He's
So, yeah,
the one
maybe
who
so.
like ran into him in the graveyard and was like, he was acting so weird.
Yeah. I definitely think there's something like maybe somebody's like clearing house or something. Like I don't know. Don't
Spoiler.
Don't spoiler.
Oops. I couldn't remember his name.
So Peggy guesses Benno is dying next.
Benno. Oh. Yeah, we only really know a couple of names anyway. So how many days do we have here? 5, 6?
Something like that.
Oh, and every number is a holy and magical number. And if it's not, you just times it by 2, and then it's a holy number. That goes along with his lists.
The whole Peggy was saying like the whole thing about the century plus 300 years or whatever for the time of the millennium before the end of the world or whatever, and then they're like, oh, but you don't measure from Jesus, you measure from Constantine. Like who makes this stuff up? Like you just
some butthole.
but you know what, this is something that like everybody ever always has predicted, like at least in like apocalyptic religion has always predicted like their time was the end times, you know. I don't want that, man.
Yeah,
Let's keep going.
Yeah. How many hexagonal rooms did you find in our reading today? So many hexagonal rooms in a pentagrammal tower.
Oh yeah, that part was weird.
There is a movie.
Yes.
It came out in 1986. It has rave reviews. It's won many awards, and it has Sean Connery
Yeah.
as William of Baskerville, and someone else famous as Little Watson.
Yeah. So I was telling Nicole last night, I don't know if you guys have seen Tropic Thunder, but at the beginning of Tropic Thunder, they have all these like fake movie ads, and one of them is Robert Downey Jr. as a gay monk. And that is all I can see. And because he was Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so I bet anything that like whoever made that little ad sort of like had some of this in mind.
Well, because apparently this is like a big deal.
Yeah.
That this book is like the book on everyone's bookshelves, and if you've actually read it, you're like, so we're about to be, we're gonna be like, we hated it.
I will say like there are some interesting like sort of like philosophical questions. If you wanted that,
Like
I didn't. No, but like the whole thing about, I just like some of the questions about like who's a heretic and like comments about the Inquisition and comments about, like I think Shelby was saying, like sort of the nod to the fact that like whenever Europe was in the Middle Ages, like the Muslims were not, right? And the Muslim world like had it together, and they were at like the height of that civilization.
They were the center of knowledge for the world, and Europe was dark.
So there's a lot of interesting things happening here. It's just cloaked in verbiage.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we live in a time now where if something cool is happening in another country, we know about it because of social media and the internet and, you know, all that.
Yeah.
But back then, if your town was dark, so was the rest of the world to you. You know, there was just no way to know.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to kind of see that through that.
Yeah.
We are now in here reading it and we know. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that and I got off track. That's fine.
Shelby says there was also nothing else to do but talk back then.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Well, except for monks who were supposed to take a vow of silence.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
They saved up all their words just for us.
Just for us.
There are a lot of words. Every time I look up like reviews of this book, they're like, you know, the narration is so poetic and it's just beautifully written. And I'm just like, when?
It is written.
It is written. It is written a lot.
Yeah. You know, what if they are murdering each other so that somebody can come investigate so they can talk, right?
They're
just like, I have to get interviewed now. Oh no.
So bored. Oh, and I totally missed the fact, and only now like grasped it at the end of this reading, that like, why was William and little Watson headed there anyways?
Oh, I don't know.
William was called to settle a debate there. And I think it was the laughing Jesus thing.
Oh.
But then when he got there, they were like, there's been a murder. And so off we go. And so every once in a while, the abbot pops up and he was like, but what about the laughing? Back on track. And then like the Pope is on his way.
Well, so there's two popes at this time.
A Pope is on his way. A Pope envoy is on its way. And they're like,
Something
should
like that,
we
yes.
send messengers and tell them don't come? Because people are dying up in here.
Yeah.
Or do we just let them show up and then someone dies and then they think that we're trying to attack them?
Yeah. So this
Probably tell them don't come.
this is the time period when you have a pope in Rome and a pope in Avignon. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but like the palace of the pope is still there.
In Avignon?
Really cool. Yes.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
I have not been to Avignon, but I have been to
And so
the Pope home.
Rome is not really part of the Holy Roman Empire, right? That's not like a thing. It's its own little Italian deal. But Avignon, I don't know. That might have been part of the Holy Roman Empire. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. So. Okay.
Oh, he was sent there for the meeting that the Pope envoy is headed that way for also?
Yeah.
They were all supposed to meet up. Oh. Why do we care if Jesus left?
Because somebody's gonna be a heretic.
Just let him.
That's my like just.
Just let him.
I've never like. I feel like modern people have too much time on their hands, but like maybe I'll have too much time on your hands.
They had way too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
They were writing in pee. I bet it smells terrible.
Oh, everything about the Middle Ages smelled terrible. Like that's undeniable. Anyway, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna weigh.
Pope
I'm not.
Super
I'm
Bowl.
not gonna weigh in. Pope.
That's what I said?
Oh, they said poop.
No, it's the Pope Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not gonna weigh in
Pooper
on
Super
the,
Bowl.
I'm not gonna weigh in on the laughing thing because I don't know the heresy answer and I don't want to pick the heresy answer. So
Well, the heresy answer is that he laughed, right? He's supposed to be the son of God, not laughing.
I don't know.
I like it when he even made, what is the name, Severinus? Is that his name? I don't know. He made the guy that's like, you're not supposed to laugh. He made him laugh, like he made him sneer. And he's like, see? You laughed.
Yeah.
And it's because you thought I was wrong, so it was a sinful laugh. Tee hee hee.
A whole lot of just like one-upsmanship, you know?
Yes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But like, how else are you supposed to get, status? You also, the monasteries are traditionally filled with like second sons and third sons and like sons that weren't going to inherit like a lordship title and for whatever reason couldn't go and be a knight. And so you ended up just like going to be a monk, partially because that helped to like get rid of your claim to property. And so then your brothers didn't have to murder you later because like you gave it up. Because like that's a thing. And so it's very normal for there to be like these like little lordlings that kind of have a chip on their shoulder because their brothers are the ones who like get to go be somebody. And so they have this like status inferiority thing going on. And you see that a lot, I think. So
I mean, if I lived in this time period, I would definitely just go ahead and marry the church.
die? Oh, what? No,
One or
yeah,
the
for
other,
sure.
because it's just too much.
Yeah.
It is too much.
So
Yeah.
is what it is. I mean, like, it's an interesting period of time. It is.
So yeah, there's lots of little quotes and comments on the Fable. I forgot to mention that at the
Yes.
beginning of the show. If y'all are new, our book club meets every Sunday at 10 a.m.
Yep.
But we carry on the conversation on Fable to help us keep track of our thoughts and ideas.
Yep.
And Peggy's excited about the next part. Well, maybe because things are speeding up
Yeah.
a little bit. Like
I
maybe,
might be too. Yeah.
Maybe.
That first 3 intros just really threw me for a loop and put me in a bad headspace about this book. So. Yeah, the Fable comments are very funny. Everybody's on point this week. So we've also had several new folks join our Fable. And if y'all are
Yeah.
here, welcome to
Hi.
our live meeting. But also people are starting to suggest other books. And we will need to announce our next book next week. I think it's my pick. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here. I don't really have much else to say.
I'm out.
This is another one of those books where like I feel very meh about it. And then once we sit down and talk about it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like I'll do this.
Well, because we're able to like get rid of all the words and like just get down to the
Yes. Well, and it
what are we
helps-
focused on,
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah. I wish you could donate too. You can subscribe and then donate later whenever we figure that out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, please just join the book club. We read all kinds of fiction.
Yes. Cool.
And this book shall end in 2 weeks. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And this week's reading will be days 3 and 4. So next Sunday, 10 a.m. Central, we will meet up to discuss everything up through day 4.
And I'm not sure we said this, but the Fable is under the same name as this channel.
Books
So,
we never read. Everything is books we never read.
yep.
It's also linked for you on the like channel description.
Cool.
You know, if you go to the main channel description here on YouTube, you can join our Fable.
All right. We'll see
Fable.
y'all next time. I do.
Praise be.
Give it a second.